Welcome to the 544 Port Podcast. We are your hosts,
Bill Wisber.
Justin Liebertor. He's the 5, I'm the 44, coming to you every week on Fridays at 5:44. To our fans, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Continue to keep it up. We'll take as many viewers and followers as we can to keep this thing rolling. Hopefully we're in championship week this week. Hopefully we roll on through the state playoffs after this week.
That's right. Whippeal week.
Whippeal Champions Week. That was a good feeling that week, going to back in our day, 94, leading up to the big Whippeal Championship against the heated for St. Clair. What do you remember, like, coming up to that with, like, nerves, things like that, Bill? Like as we've talked for a while, like, you were the junior, the senior group. What did you feel with that, like, going down to, it was Three River Stadium?
Yep. You know what? No nerves that week. I was ready. I don't know if you remember. I'm almost positive we played them in the preseason, though. We played Upper St. Clair in the preseason at home, maybe.
Possibly.
And
yeah, I think you're right.
I was pretty nervous for that one. It might have been first start, first everything. Luckily, it was a scrimmage, and we played them pretty well. Actually, we handled them pretty well in the scrimmage. So no nerves. I felt like I knew we were going to win. Knew we had a great team. I think they switched quarterbacks. They put that freshman in for the Whippeal Championship, who had a good game against us, and I kind of changed it up a little bit. But no, nothing. Just confidence. How about you?
Yeah, I think the same thing. I feel like it was just like riding high through the playoffs, just going down. It's just like handling business. You know, it was almost destiny. It was like just one more step in what we had written. I feel like a lot of the people we talked to, like, throughout this podcast season, things that they've said about the season, it just felt like it was meant to be. We had that teamwork, that brotherhood. I feel like it was just one more step. I just remember being in the locker room, being like, the game's almost a blur, but just some of the little things about that, like standing in the runway area. I feel like, did the game before us go over? Like, I feel like we were pushed back or something. I feel like we were like hanging out there for a while, just kind of like, what's going on? Why are we like I feel like that, I feel like I remember that part of it.
That sounds right. And it's weird that you said, like, I remember plays in the game, but I don't remember, like, I couldn't even tell you what the locker room looked like. I know we're in the tunnel, but I don't remember that. I do remember after the game, you know, they had us up on the Jumbotron.
Right.
And I remember, but that was like after, I wasn't like blocked out. I wasn't like into the game so much that I wasn't aware of anything. It was like after the fact. But yeah, leading up to it, I don't really remember. It's sad because it was a great experience, but I don't have vivid memories of the game.
Right.
Nothing leading up to it, really.
Yeah.
Like immediately leading up to it.
Right.
No.
And then going out on the field afterwards. You recall that?
I do.
Go down the end zone and sign our name in the end zone.
There was a signature on one of the.
Yeah. Down the gold. That was like the gold Steelers end zone, if I recall. I think on that, and we went down. A couple of us signed our names to that field, so we left our impression on that field.
So when the Steelers played the following day or 2 days later, the next week, our names were
painted right over it. I'm sure.
Probably painted right.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. But I do remember that. That was cool.
Yep, that was cool.
We can't be held responsible for that. It's like a statute of limitations.
Statute of limitations. I don't know if you guys. That's not graffiti, right? That was we were. Yeah, we won.
We were
out on the field.
Right. Yeah, it's not like we broke in. So
yes, I do remember that actually. That's what I mean. Like after the fact, I remember some of the things, but leading up to it, nothing.
So speaking of leading up, how was your week from the last week to this week? Anything big, major life things?
No, we chasing the kid around for some sports. I went to the Tiger game last week. They took care of the Planets pretty handedly. 35-7, 30, something like that. Does that sound right?
Let me look at my notes. Yes, I think.
We left. That's when we left about midway through the fourth quarter, and that was the finals. Because I didn't know if they got a cheap one at the end. Saw a lot of McKeesport legends there. Got to hang out with Dennis Mano Robinson.
Awesome. That was at Gateway, correct?
It was at Gateway.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, it was good game. Very impressed with our running backs. Hopefully they can keep that flowing going into this week. I think TJ is going to be a little tougher than the Planets.
Did you hear Kimon Spell's stat line for that game? Did you know the final numbers?
I did not, and I don't. But we made a joke mid-game because they had 2 punts they down like inside the 5.
Yeah.
And we were like, this is probably awesome for him. He's like, because I'm going to break a 90-yarder now.
Yeah. So 280 and 3 touchdowns.
How many carries?
I think it was like 26
Okay.
carries or something like
Okay.
that. But so we gave a stat last week. So in his
Yeah.
2 playoff games this
Yeah.
year, over 550 yards and 5 touchdowns. I mean,
Okay.
he's half 1,000 yards in just
In
2
2 playoffs.
games,
Yeah.
2 playoff games.
So he's averaging 270.
It's crazy. Like, I can't imagine what his numbers are on the year. Like, we'll
Right.
have to do a recap. Our last episode, I think as we said that before, we're definitely have to do a recap
Right.
episode of just some stats because
And
like it's pretty incredible.
it's funny. It's another topic we brought up because, Dennis is one of the all-time great McKeesport running backs. I think he could be the all-time IUP leading rusher.
Oh, wow.
Have to double check with him on that. But we were kind of talking like, and Big Sean, if you ever listen, would love to hear from you. Where's the records for McKeesport? Like, who's the all-time leading rusher? Who's the all-time leading passer? I know it's not me. But is there an archive somewhere? Is there somewhere those records are kept? Charlie Kiss, AD, is there something in the athletic department? So I would love to know. I'd love to see some of the names that we forget about who were studs in their day.
Right, it's
Quentin
hard.
Grayson.
You think like, oh, just go on Google, everything's out there. It's not, because I've tried like for our show, like to prep some things. It's so hard to find high school sports stats from back like at
archive sports.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I know we had talked to Mike White, the Post-Gazette reporter, who did a nice piece on us, and I kind of just in passing mentioned it to him, and he just basically said, you got to go back to the papers, and that's not going to happen going back to the 40s and 50s. I mean,
do you think they even have that in libraries anymore? I remember going back, like, in college, you'd have to go do reports and you'd go to the library and they would have those periodic, like you'd have to go on that machine and it would pull up newspaper type things that you would scroll through.
Microfiche.
Yeah, right? Like crazy. Like that's what we had to do reports and projects from.
Right, yeah. So I would love
that's what Mike White is saying we have to go do, basically.
Pretty much.
There's got to be a business in that somewhere. I feel like there's a business model we have to capitalize on here.
There's got to be something.
Yeah, there's got to be something.
But yeah, I would love to know. I mean, where some like the McKeesport legends rank. I mean, like I'm sure Drew broke 2,000 for his career.
Yeah,
because he had 1,500 our year.
Right. Right.
But where's that put him? Is that top 20? Is that top 5? I mean,
right. Yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah, I would love to see that. And like I said, some of we had all these 15, 16 NFL players. Like, do they hold any records?
Yeah.
Going way back.
Right.
Is Brandon the all-time leading tackler? I mean, who knows?
Right. Yeah.
We were talking about Montour, who played Marth last week, and our friend Jamie's son, Kevin, everything's online, everything's Twitter, and he's getting recruited and everything. And his Twitter account says he's Montour's all-time leading tackler.
Oh, really?
Which is awesome. Congrats to him. But it'd be cool to find that out for us.
Right.
Who's our stats leaders?
I mean, obviously, you could just probably put things out there that you were the leading like option pitcher. Like you had the most pitches or handoffs or something. I mean, if everybody's only looking at newspapers to find that stuff, nobody's going to fact check.
No one's going to find it.
I think you just start putting that as your tagline on something. Just make some stat up.
I still hold a record for the Foothills Classic All-Star game too.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Yeah, most interceptions. Yeah, I think I had 3 in the game. I think that record still stands.
Amazing.
Cheers to the Foothills Classic.
Yeah,
but that's I don't want to put that one on the old Twitter handle. I don't think.
No, maybe not. But probably not. A good one.
I'll try to find something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you? Good weekend? What'd you get into?
A rough trip to Indianapolis. My son had a lacrosse tournament out there, so it was on Saturday. Not even a tournament. It was, I guess, a showcase. So they just had 3 games Sunday. So we drove out Saturday late afternoon after he got off work. Drove out there 6 hours, spent the night, got up, played 3 games of lacrosse, and drove right back. So we were on the road by 2:00, driving back here on Sunday. So unfortunately, we didn't get to see the great Steelers game this weekend, but we got to listen to it a little bit. It was kind of funny just driving in there. Like the Buffalo Indiana game was on. I was trying to pull it up on my Hulu, like live TV, so I could at least listen to the broadcast.
Right.
So, like CBS had their local one, but as soon as we crossed the line of Ohio, it switched over so I could pick up the Steeler game. So we got awesome. Like fourth quarter, I was able to listen to on the car through like Hulu Live because I couldn't get iHeartRadio. They don't like I was at the game. They won't play the Steeler
They black
broadcast
it
on
out.
DVE. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I was sitting there trying to get it on the
Yep.
radio. I like every other iHeart radio station was working, but DVEs was just blank. Like there was no sound at all. It was weird.
I've experienced that driving back from DC when I used to work down there and trying to get the games and
Right.
getting frustrated and like, what's going on? Is my thing broken or?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, something was weird going on that. I checked one other channel at work. I'm like, oh, I bet they just don't let it play, which
I watched the
kind
Google.
of frustrating.
Yep. They're like, hey, black out your local
audio. Like,
oh, yeah, exactly.
Right? I don't know.
That's the reason I want it.
Exactly. Right. Did you watch the game?
Did. I watched the whole game.
All right. Impressions?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Mike Williams stepped up. Big play, one catch.
All I do is catch touchdowns.
Game winners. All I do is catch game winners. That's it. Which was cool. I don't know if they said this on the radio. Unfortunately, Calvin Austin got hurt.
Yeah.
And I guess that was that would have been his play otherwise.
Right. I heard that this morning. I think it was on DVE. They played it. He said that like in his interview, right? He was like, "Yeah, that wasn't my play. That was Austin. Like he was supposed to be in there, but I got thrown in there. Like he's like, I didn't even know the play. I just ran it.
So I think Russ told him like, "Hey, run deep.
Run, like, just run. Just go on fly and we'll get it to you."
Yes.
Which is great to have that an option. I mean, you now have two options that you can just throw the ball and say, "Go get it."
Yes.
Right. I mean, like
Pickens.
So like as a defense, you got to figure out one of those two. We got to watch not to sell short Jefferson or Austin or some of our other guys.
Right.
But I mean, like that is a nice, pretty good two tandem that we have now.
I like it.
Really going to open up.
I think next week with Baltimore, it's going to be another like championship caliber game.
Right. Ravens week.
Oh man.
But I think, like I said, I didn't watch the game, but I just think that like from what I heard and what I like listened to for the fourth quarter, it just gives you confidence that we could almost play with anyone now. Like I'm not saying Russell Wilson is great as Patrick Mahomes or even, like this coming week against the Ravens, but I feel like we could hold our own. Like we at least have a chance to be in a game. I feel like our defense can keep it in it. They have the big, they came through.
Right.
I just feel like we are a better team right now and like we have a chance to play.
We have like a professional quarterback.
Correct.
Like Ben. Like Ben was our last one who was a professional quarterback. Kind of like Kenny and Trubisky and Justin Fields to a lesser extent. I mean, I think he is. I just think he has to find himself yet. But
yeah.
So it was good.
So other than that, also, I do have to give a little RIP to a member of the McKeesport family and also part of the Liberator family. My cousin, it's my dad's cousin, Patsy Leonard. She passed away on Friday. They had her viewing this week. So give a little RIP to Patsy Leonard. She was, take a sip on that. She worked at McKeesport too. So she was there. I think she was definitely there when we were in school.
She was. Yep.
She worked with special education students. She was one of the teachers' aides there for about 24 years. So her son, Billy Leonard, was a great basketball star at McKeesport too. So you give him a shout out. He was probably, Hall of Famer, McKeesport Hall of Famer.
All-time leading scorer? All-time male leading scorer? I think Swin's all-time. But...
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. We fact check that one, but pretty sure. Yeah.
Right.
So here's a question for you. This always throws me for a loop as we're bringing our kids to the viewing and introducing people and things like that.
Yes.
So she was my dad's cousin.
Right.
What does that make her to me?
Your second cousin.
Wrong.
Seriously?
That's what I always thought too.
Yeah.
Nope, not a second cousin. She is No, you're wrong. She is my first cousin once removed.
Didn't see that coming. It's like we have a guest coming in too.
You're not seeing something coming. We were keeping our guest a surprise.
All right.
For this week. Hope he's coming on.
All right. Can you hear us now?
While we're waiting for Brandon, a second cousin is someone you share a great grandparent with, but not a grandparent with.
I've had it my entire life.
So like her kids, so like Billy Leonard is my second cousin because we don't share a grandparent, but we share a great grandparent. Yeah, I was wrong. I always thought I was like, oh, it's my dad's first cousin, which makes me a second cousin.
Yeah.
Not first cousin once removed. And then your second cousins with their kids. Crazy. Yep. Learn something.
Very weird.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at that whole family game though too. I got cousins who I call aunts and uncles, and
Same here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here.
But-
Yeah, we call her like Aunt Patsy. Like, so she
Right.
technically, I didn't call her like, hey, cousin first removed Patsy.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
It's
Right.
weird. Like, it's just cousins. Like, we're just same with like our cousin Larry, like my dad's cousin Larry. Like, they're just cousins. It just makes it easier.
Just keep it simple.
Don't know the technicalities of it. Right.
Not at all. Think B's wait until exactly 7:30. Very punctual.
He's very punctual. Here, what I'll do is I'll bring up, if I could share my screen, I'll try to share my screen, bring up the big 22. Whoa. That's what people's heads now. So do you remember any of these dudes?
I was trying to read the names. It's pretty.
It isn't very easy to manipulate.
The ones I can see doesn't ring any bells.
Mike Daniels from Bashir, Justin Wade from South Park, Earl Arkin from Peters Township, Barrett Ammons sounds familiar from Upper St. Clair. He was a senior cornerback wide receiver. Obviously, we played him in the Whitfield Championship.
Right.
Barrett Ammons.
Roger Wilson.
This doesn't do very well in a Google Doc.
It's actually not bad on this screen. I don't know if it's Chris Berry.
Chris Berry. Do you know who Chris Berry is?
I've heard of him.
Surprisingly, he's a principal in TJ that I work with. There's actually two guys on this screen right now that later in life I would have had no clue they were in high school. But Chris Berry, shout out to Chris Berry, Jefferson Hills Intermediate School and TJ. He's the principal there. And right below him, caddy corner, Sean Lamondi.
Yeah.
So this guy down here.
Yep.
Seton LaSalle, he was their quarterback. He was a senior. Senior year, junior year. He lives here in South Fayette. He's literally in my neighborhood here in the Berkshires. He lives in South Fayette. His son was South Fayette's quarterback last year, Nico Lamondi.
Very cool.
Quarterback for South Fayette, yeah. So it's like crazy, like looking through his names. And I didn't realize any of that till last year. Somebody posted this when McKeesport was going back to the Whitfields. They were busting out the old Fabulous 22 stuff.
Right.
And that's, I was like, wait a minute. Chris and Sean, like these people I know right now, were Fabulous 22 guys.
That's awesome. So he's having trouble logging in. I told him to log out and try to log back in one more time.
All right. If that doesn't work, I can try sending him the link again, too. Somebody else had trouble one time.
That's what I told him. I was like, I think.
With the link, and I had to resend the link to them a second time. Oh, yeah. He emailed, said, down into your studio. It looks like you guys are on, but I can't hear or see.
I wonder if he has a firewall issue.
If it's a work computer like you had, that's a possibility.
You're the tech guy. I don't know.
All right, we'll give him one more shot. If it doesn't work,
I said, if you're on a work computer with a firewall, it might be blocking you.
okay.
I had to switch to my personal computer when I used it. So he vanished. So
he emailed, said he tried using that link and still the same issues that I sent him. So it might be the computer if it's not his phone.
I'm not sure if he's said you said you could try from your phone. He said, oh, maybe we can try some other method to connect next time. I don't know if that means he's leaving us or if he's going to try from his phone.
All right, well, I guess we could just move on and we'll just talk and then
Sure.
from there, I guess.
Sure.
See if we'll hop back on. Hold on, let me text Sean Lamondi and Chris Berry and see if they want to hop on.
Okay. So no problem. Keep us posted.
All right then.
Sure. So, hey, sorry for the technical difficulties. Yeah. We had a little trouble getting our guest on, so we're gonna try to either get him back and or reschedule.
Yeah. So speaking of second cousins.
Yeah. Do you have one?
Nah, I'm just trying to ad lib off the word earlier.
It's all right. Let's just have fun with it.
So Robin would be what to you?
Your cousin?
Yeah. My cousin.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Touched my leg once.
Right.
But, yeah. So.
She would be your best friend's cousin. That's about
it. Yes.
Yeah. That's about all you got to go on that.
Yes. So, all right. So we got TJ this week, and you're the guru on TJ.
Cool.
What's the scouting report?
All right. So, I watched their game. They put it to Aliquippa. I mean, they put a hurt on them. So I watched, that was on TV. So I watched that one. I don't know, man. They're just tough. If you can recall back to when McKeesport played them in September, we were doing this show. I mean, that was a tough one. Right. McKeesport jumped out to like a 28-7 lead. I mean, they looked on fire at that game. They were just kind of moving the ball at will. They were doing what they wanted to do. And it almost was like either TJ was either like overwhelmed or like I don't know, they just didn't look good to start the game. But then they came back and McKeesport didn't score in the second half. It goes to overtime, and then the only thing McKeesport scored was that field goal in overtime to take the lead in overtime. And then, so what was it? It was 28. It went to overtime 28-28, and then McKeesport kicked the field goal. They got the ball first, couldn't do anything, couldn't move the ball. Kick the field goal. TJ gets the ball back. They go down, get down like to the 1. It's like 4th and 1. Instead of kicking the field goal to tie it, they're like, put it all on the line.
Go for it.
Yep, go for it. I think it was Eber, the guy that's their big stud. He's the guy to go to.
Is he the running back?
He's the running back. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they went to him and he punched it in. Now I don't remember. I think we talked about it. I didn't see it like supposedly it's the replay, like either somebody knocked it out or came up with the ball or something like that. I think you said, but
okay.
I don't remember.
I remember talking about it, but I can't remember what exactly happened. And so hopefully, I just want to see a good game.
I was thinking McKeesport win.
It's a win.
Right. Makes me a little nervous because we're obviously going to the game. It's in Norwin, so we're going to the game.
It is.
I'm going to be wearing McKeesport gear at the game. Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm going to be seeing a lot of TJ family and parents there, which is I don't know. I might have to.
Mr. Libertor, what's wrong with you?
I might have to wear this McKeesport hat real low. Like I might just be like
real,
hat, it's real low. Like can't even see.
You got to grow it out. Playoff beer.
I'm trying. Go on. I got my no shave November, guys. It's been like a month.
I shaved yesterday.
No, I'm sure. Exactly. Maybe I should dye mine dark so it looks like yours. Then I won't know.
Yeah, just for
really incognito.
I got the snake patch or skunk patch going over here.
Yeah.
So let me right a wrong while we had some time to kill here.
Yes.
I'd like to apologize to Jason Urosic, who I said was a soccer player. He actually played football. My bad. He was a stellar blocking wide receiver. Could have been a good fourth addition.
Yeah. We breed him strong.
That's right. So Stick, my bad. Didn't mean to disrespect you like that.
It's okay. It's soccer's not disrespectful. It's a tough game to play. So
agreed.
Yeah, you got to mark up on your man.
No, you pick up. pick up a man.
Well, if our guest doesn't come back on, we're supposed to get Brandon. He played in the NFL. So
sure.
One thing I was going to ask him was, who was like the toughest NFL player you went up against? So since we can't ask him, I'm going to ask you, if you had your opportunity to play in the NFL,
sure,
being a quarterback, who would you want to be like your like all-time receiver? Like who would you man, it would have been amazing to be throwing to this guy. Who would you think you would have wanted to be your top receiver? Other than me, of course.
Obviously.
No, present company excluded. Who would you say, man, this would have been awesome to throw touchdowns to this dude?
I gotta go. I wish I could combine some, but honestly,
make yourself just chop a person. I'll chop them up, put all their characteristics together.
Well, I'm just gonna pick one guy to start.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with AB.
Really controversial. Hot take.
Yeah.
AB, really?
Yeah.
Why AB?
Great route runner, fast, great hands, Tony toe tap.
You're talking over Jerry Rice, over Randy Moss. You're going A to the B.
Yeah.
Wow. Shocked.
I just think he's going to get open.
This is my shocked face. I'm shocked.
Yeah. Now, if I can combine them, I like Randy Moss height.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'm trying to think who had great hands. Maybe AB as the route runner, but I'm trying speed guy. Who's a speed guy? Who's a burner? Man.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank too.
Because you see you see the acrobatic plays and the catches and things like that.
Right.
Tyreek Hill, maybe.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Tyreek Hill speed. Yeah. We get those in there. Hindwards blocking. If we're building prototype.
Yeah.
Maybe T.O.'s toughness, going over the middle, catching contested balls.
Yeah.
Jerry Rice's consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a pretty monstrous receiver, though.
Who's throwing you the ball then? Who's your number one quarterback?
I was going to say Tom Brady just to be a jerk, but.
This win.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I just can't. I just can't like him just being a Patriot, so I can't pull for him wanting to start me the ball.
Right.
See, maybe like Montana. I feel like growing up watching Montana back in the day, San Fran, like probably him.
Ringgold kid, I like it.
Yeah, exactly. He's a local guy. Yeah,
Yep.
I think I'd go Montana. I think that'd probably be my guy to go for.
No, Danny Marino.
Nah, I like Montana a little bit better.
Ah, yeah, best tackler I've seen since Joe Montana. Yeah.
I would say Hines Ward though. If I had to be a receiver with somebody, I would want to be right out there. I mean, he was tough as nails. I mean, he was always my favorite receiver, especially like growing up in the '90s watching Steelers. He was it, man. He was tough. Like, I mean, he epitomized Steeler football, like as a wide receiver, busting people's jaws, like just mouthing off, big smile too, like just like
just
a big
having
happy,
fun, right?
Yeah, play the game like having fun.
He's busting Ed Reed's jaw. Like, it's not like he like some jamoke who's gonna be washing cars next week. Like, he's a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I was a big Hines guy too.
Hines, if you're watching this, shout out. Send us some merch.
Yeah, sure. You want to come on the show?
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, we need somebody on the show.
Welcome. Yeah, maybe we should start taking calls.
Yeah. Hold on, let me see. Oh, wait, I have one right here. Yeah.
Nope.
No. That's all right.
I'm drinking a bullet, by the way, in case you.
Good. I mean, we only have a couple more shows possibly, so hopefully somebody's gonna watch and get you something.
They're probably aging it for me.
That's probably what's happening, I would assume.
They're waiting till next year when it's actually aged.
They might be waiting for like the state championship show, or maybe a celebration after this Whitby Old championship. Maybe it's like celebratory ball they made such. Who knows? But
yes, I agree.
I got a little more Old Smoky, so this time for my birthday, Anne's mom, Jean, she got me a bottle of their actual whiskey, but it's a salted caramel whiskey.
Ooh,
pretty good.
Very good.
Yeah, well, it's flavorful.
A little sweet. Yes.
A little sweet. She had said that when they went to the distillery, they talked about like you can use this to cook with, or like it makes if you like pour it over like bacon and you cook bacon, and then it gets like a good caramely, tasty bacon. I'm like, oh, I want to have it this weekend.
Yeah,
sounds good.
I do like some bacon.
I'll bring it over. We can have Jana make us bacon with the salted caramel whiskey.
We're getting the Blackstone going.
Yeah, we're getting out there.
I mean, I gotta obviously check with her to make sure it's okay. But besides that, I think
right.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to getting a little tailgate on before the game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a good game. There was something else I wanted to touch on, and I forgot what it was. It was, we get some texts from our longtime listeners.
Yep.
They want to clear some things up. Matt wants a producer credit added to the end.
He is. He's on there, isn't he?
He is? Okay.
Yeah, we got the pumpkin drop. That was all Matt McCabe. Yeah, he's on there, executive producer at the end. So maybe you haven't watched our episodes all the way to the end, Isber.
I know. I turned it off at the drop.
Yeah. No, there's a whole scene at the end. We put the McKeesport, the Port podcast comes back up, and there's a really small fine print. Executive producer Matt McCabe. So, he's on there.
Put my cheater glasses on to see.
Probably that maybe maybe you didn't see it. Maybe you're driving the car listening to it. See it. So.
And that's possible too. Yes. Busy work week for you?
Not really. PTA meeting Wednesday night, so that was a late night as always. Like when you have to stick around for those meetings, but I get some work done in between. I'll usually putz around, do some things around the building. That's like when you're working all day, emails, this, that, or the other, working with kids, lunch. You don't get caught up on. So there's some things that you can always kind of do on those days, or just go shoot basketball in the gym for a while.
You lower the hoops and dunk.
Yeah, lower it. What do you mean? Crushing it on end footers.
Or just dunk.
Yeah, just dunk. It was funny a few years ago. We were doing some kind of advertisement. I can't remember what it was. It was for something, but so I like lowered the hoops and like I videotaped me like dunking it. And the kids thought like I really dunked because the angle that I had the camera on, like going up throwing this dunk down. I did a promo and the kids were like, "Oh!" And then I went down to play a gym class. Special Leaders are, come on, show us how you dunked in that video. I was like, oh, I got my good shoes on. Yeah, or I can't scuff up the floor. I can't do that, kids.
Yes,
it's all smoke and mirrors.
I gotta get loose.
Yeah,
can't just come in cold now.
Right. Exactly. So we did have Veterans Day this week. So shout out to any
Yeah,
of our listeners who are
shout
veterans,
out to the vets.
military. I mean, it's awesome.
Appreciate your service.
Did you ever like have an interest in that? Any interest joining like military, any branch service?
So coming out of high school, I got recruited by the Army and the Navy because they
Okay.
were all option schools, and I thought it would be awesome to go. I think I would have taken the appointment. However, my SAT scores weren't great, but they weren't terrible either. I was
Okay.
over 1,000. I was like right around 1,100, which was average.
You like 500 for your name. So yeah, I mean, you're halfway there.
So yeah,
Right.
So but they told me I had to do a year of prep school and then 4 years at the academy,
Ooh.
and then do a 6-year term.
Okay.
So if you do the math, that's 11 years as a
Carry
the one.
Yeah.
Yes. As a 18-year-old senior, I'm like, man, I'm gonna be like 30 when I get done with this.
Yeah.
I don't think this is for me.
Right.
So I didn't seriously consider it after that.
Yeah.
After the amount of time commitment was just too much. But had I went, I would have went Navy.
Navy.
Go Navy, beat Army.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just
You like being on a boat.
sure.
You like
boats.
seamen.
So
Yep. Yeah, you just lobbed that one up there.
let's lob that one up. Yep.
Yeah, I never. Well, I just didn't like. I'm not that I'm not patriotic. I just don't want to fight in a war. I guess like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's like, well, sign me up.
Yeah, I don't want to like. I'm not like, yeah, put me on the front line. I want to go shoot, kill, have a chance to be killed. No, like that's just never interested in me. If I did, I would say, I feel like Air Force. I feel like I'd like want to fly the fighter planes and that kind of stuff.
What about Space Force?
Yeah, I didn't realize that was a real thing. I thought that was just like a Netflix show. Like I think we actually came out with a real Space Force. Did you watch the show on Netflix when they came out, Steve Carell? It was a couple years ago. They came out with it. I watched like one episode. It was pretty funny, but then just never kind of got sidetracked with everything else. But they did it.
He was really in it.
Yeah. All right. It was pretty. But now, like for your job, you've done some pretty intense training, though, right? Like, would you say it's as much as like basic training stuff that they would do for military? Like military?
No, not that.
No.
Different. It's more like a gentleman's training. Like they're not screaming at us and
yelling. You go through the physical training of it. Like
we do have a lot of physical training, and a lot of academic training, and a lot of self-defense and firearms and things. But that's why.
But not like not like the Navy SEAL stuff that you see, like like that. Not even that craziness kind of stuff.
Remotely close, right? And like I said, it's more of a gentleman's account. Like if you mess up, they will yell at you, maybe, but not. They're not like belittling you, like you maggots, you suck. Yeah, they're
right.
Hey, try harder.
Right.
Yeah. You could do better. But yeah, so a couple of different academies I went through, and they were all basically the same. They're towards an end goal. But they want you to succeed. The military does too, but they're not breaking you down and building you up.
There's a difference there. They got to break you down to that like level to build you back.
Right. So we're just going through learning the aspects of the job and then graduating and working.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Coming to an end.
Yeah. How many more years do you have on the job?
Under 2.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So jealous.
We'll see if I'm going to go or stay.
Yeah.
I'm eligible in 21 months.
Wow.
But I don't know if I'm going to go or not. We'll see.
Yeah.
Depends on life and economies and jobs and
right.
If you have any openings in TJ.
Yeah. Right. Social study, middle age social studies, like middle high school.
Yeah. Secondary social study. I think 7th through 12 that gives me credit for.
Probably. I mean, the certifications have changed so much. I'm sure yours is probably still the same. Like I know mine was K to 6, but that's not a real thing anymore. So it's like either early childhood and like you have to get the add-on 4 to 6. There's a bunch of new like things new requirements. So is your license still valid? Like, do you have to?
So it's been 20 some years, but I put it on voluntary inactive status.
Okay.
So I know I have to call and get it reactivated, but I'm sure I'm going to have to pass a test, take a class, do something with that.
I mean, we need teachers. They're going to be like, are you breathing? Can you scan?
Yes. Can you answer yes to question 1? No,
We'll take
I will show up for work.
Right.
I will not do drugs.
Yeah. Good news is you could sub initially. Like, you could just take sub work, like, even as a bachelor. I mean, you have your degree, but
Right.
we hire people now that are just bachelor subs as subs that just have a bachelor degree that's not even education. And you can sub doing that just because we're in such need, and most school districts are the same. So even in Norwin, you'd probably be able to do that and just sub out there.
Really?
Most you get on the sub list. I'm sure Norwin does it. Most, I'm like South Fayette does it. I know we do. A lot of schools just have bachelor subs that you can have come in and sub. So you don't have to sub in your certified area, or if like you have a process to get your certificate up and running again, you should still be able to just sub as a bachelor sub. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think I really want to be an assistant athletic, but I don't have any experience in that whatsoever.
Like, pretty easy job.
Yeah.
You're not
Sure.
like the main athletic director. You're
Right.
like,
He gets yelled at, and
you're kind of like an athletic supporter almost.
you almost got me.
Almost 2 for 2.
Almost 2 for 2. Not today. Not up in here.
Oh man, our listeners are gonna be like, is that guest logging back on anytime soon? Or
I think 8 o'clock was our cutoff for him, and
yeah,
7:59 right now, so it's not looking real good.
no. You know what? You try to hook a big fish, and sometimes your line breaks.
Sometimes it does.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does. But again, I'm enjoying our conversation here.
Yeah, right. Hopefully everyone else is.
Sure. That's all right. We've actually been talking for like 45 minutes now.
Right. That's true. I mean, there was probably a 10-minute pause in there that we were a little technical difficulties that we'll be able to edit out. So then anytime we have to.
Yeah. Your hands moving.
Did you look up that video or not?
No, I didn't.
I tried to, like, I looked it up and I was going to try to piece it into last week's episode, and it was like on a TikTok. It wasn't a good format to try to put it in, but I was going to try to splice it in there. But I got a laugh watching it again. It was pretty funny.
I've been hooked on lately is it's like I think it's a husband and wife, and what's that?
Hooked on phonics.
Well, I probably could still use that. And they like set like booby traps throughout their house, and they like drop like balloons like full of milk on each other.
Really?
No, it's hilarious.
Oh.
And they set like these elaborate like traps.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you could find those,
that would not be fun. I would not be happy if my wife was setting traps around the house.
They're really good sports about it because there's like, I assume it's milk. It's like a white. I don't think it's paint.
Yeah.
But it's like a white like substance.
Right.
And it's all over their houses. So I don't know. Like the rule is like you got to like, if you get got, you got to clean it up, or
like whoever sets the trap or whoever like triggers the trap, like
right,
clean it up, right?
Yes, but they do. I mean, they're super elaborate. Where he'll shoot like a Nerf gun, like from across a room, and it'll feel like a pendulum and swing down, like smack his wife in the side of the head. And
well, I know what I'm doing the rest of the night tonight.
Yeah,
I'm watching those.
Yeah, yes, they're awesome.
Yeah,
I don't even know their names, but they're very entertaining.
Yeah.
If my wife wouldn't kill me, I would do that too. To her.
Yeah. I don't think I'd be good at that.
They put a ton of
it seems like a lot of work. Seems like a lot of effort. I think I usually just go around scaring people in the house instead of setting traps. Like Anne scares pretty easily. Savannah scares very easily. Logan not so much, but I usually could scare like Savannah and Anne pretty easily.
Do you like go hide in like closets? Or
Savannah's usually the one I do. I'm in like the long game. Like I'll hear her downstairs and I'll go like hide behind her door in her room. And sometimes it's like 10 minutes and I'm just sitting up there knowing that she's going to come up. And I was like, I hear her making popcorn. Man, she's down there forever. And then she comes in. Yeah. So I play the long game sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
she's got me maybe like once or twice. She's like jumped out of like the other room, and got.
Do you scare easy?
No, not really. Nah, usually I'm just like, but there's a few times she's got me a few times, but
she tries to pay you back.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm trying to find the name of this thing.
Yeah, the couple.
Yes. Let's see here. Couples hilarious balloon pranks. That doesn't really do it justice, but I don't know who you can see.
Oh, I just saw that fall on her head. Yeah.
He catches it and
Yeah, I wouldn't be happy cleaning that stuff
Like,
up around the house. I'd go with like confetti. Confetti, you can just vacuum that up with.
sure,
Like, yeah.
sure. Now they have like these like confetti cannons like afterwards. So like that thing comes and then they
Oh,
like
and then
pop the
like,
confetti can, and then they
yeah,
like throw it up in the air like
right,
gotcha. Yeah. So it's like double. You're
right,
cleaning up milk and confetti. You can
yeah,
just vacuum it up.
right. Yeah. I'm sure somebody's sponsoring their videos, not us. But somebody,
Not
somebody,
us. I mean,
somebody like Sherwin-Williams is sponsoring them, or some milk farm or something, whatever.
we'd take one of those too. Whatever.
Yeah, Turner's, hello.
Yeah. Or drinking your stuff too.
Yeah,
Come on, somebody. You gotta know somebody watching.
right. We're running out of time here, people. I mean, if you want us to come back for another season, we're gonna need
That's
to
right.
make some money somehow. I don't know.
We're gonna start outsourcing guests too. We're gonna get some.
Other teams. I think we're gonna have to reach
Yes.
deep into other teams.
Yeah, we're gonna get McKeesport Legends. We're gonna get other teams. Maybe we'll take some callers one day.
Yeah.
We've had some requests for some callers. I think we could swing that, right? Speakerphone.
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know.
sure, speakerphone. I mean, I'm trying to like look at the studio. I don't think there's yeah, we figure it out. Just FaceTime them, right?
Sure.
Just hold it up.
Uh,
The request line. We could even do roll call. I mean, we just have people
what's up, y'all? What's it gonna be?
people
Who's
call
on
and do
the
the roll
mic?
call with
It's
us.
your boy Bill E.
We'll get Fonz on. We'll just break it out. Problem is, can't play music because then we're gonna get blacklisted in certain
I'll be
countries
right
again. Yeah, that happened this week. I don't know.
again.
I don't know if you noticed it. Yes, because I played the highlight video and it had "That's What Friends Are For" playing in the background. I didn't even think of it, and then I went to go upload it and everything, and the little warning symbol came up again, and it was Russia again. They hate all of our stuff.
They hate our music.
They hate our music.
Why?
Yeah, it's copyright infringement in Russia, so we were allowed to publish it. It just our Russian audience can't listen to last week's.
I mean, I'm sorry for all our Russian friends, but yastim ya.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes. So I'm sorry to our Russian friends.
Yeah.
Well, Weibo,
It's been fun. It's a good show.
been fun.
Yeah, I mean, we talked for an hour. I mean, this is like one of our second longest shows. I was actually pretty surprised how long our show was last week. It was
Okay.
like an hour and 4 minutes long. I don't feel like it was that long of a show with those guys. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like
When we start rolling,
yeah,
it just,
I don't know. It was interesting. There was like a lot of good laughs. It was a good show. But when I was cutting and editing, I was like, wow, I felt like we were definitely under an hour. I didn't feel like we were over an
Right.
hour, but
no, I enjoyed my time with those guys. So, and as always, I enjoyed my time with you.
as always, cheers to 30 years, bud.
Cheers to 30 years.
And stay tuned for next Friday at 5:44 when our latest episode drops.